Good morning. So today is day 2 of highlighting the addiction to Facebooking. And so yesterday was really a struggle for me not to get on there and say a lot of things that I was thinking and to highlight a lot of things within my life that I wanted to put on Facebook. Like, for instance, like one thing that I always do is I always prepare meals made from scratch, commodities in particular. And I always like to just be creative and artful and post on Facebook my finished product of what I make. And so that kind of just adds to my my background, or just a memory, I guess, a memory of what I created and how it turned out, and just so that I could let the world know that I can cook, I guess. So that is one thing. So it was kind of a struggle yesterday. I had made a meal with rice and beans, and it really turned out really good. So I just kind of had a struggle. I took a picture, but I didn't share it. And then I had a thought of, well, maybe I'll go ahead and put it on Instagram and use the app Instagram, which I had rarely, really never done. So I had to fight against that as well. I didn't get on Instagram. I didn't get on Facebook. So, those were a few things that I had went through. And then I started thinking about, why am I really doing this? Why am I really trying my hardest to stay off of Facebook? And so a few things came to mind, and one of the things that came to mind is the fact that I began saying a lot of truths and a lot of things that really affected me when it came to Facebook, and I was making myself turn out to look like a negative person, I guess you want to say, or somebody who was against another person. The whole situation stemmed down from, I used to do, well, I should say, I was told I still do, but I feel like I don't, in a sense. But I used to do some reporting for Wyoming Public Radio. And for doing reporting for them, I highlighted a lot of stories from the Wind River Reservation. And I didn't write too many stories because I always felt like there were so many things going on. And being a person from here, I also knew that some things were not to be, I guess, exposed the way that they exposed. And another thing I didn't write too many stories is because I was focusing on getting my degree, where I graduated from Central Wyoming College with a degree in communications and psychology. And so, I was able to do that. I had promises with a head gal here named Melody Edwards, that if I went ahead and finished my education, she was going to wait for me and allow me to be in house there at Wyoming Public Radio to cover the Wind River Reservation. So a few things had happened. I wasn't able to make that journey, but I was still willing to work in-house here on the reservation. But that fell through because they have a program, and I'm really not familiar with this program because it was not really giving me a lot of information of what it was. And so this program is called Report for America, where a guy by the name of Stephen Waldman created this program to cover areas that are undercovered and cover areas where he wants to know more information about these areas. And a lot of these areas that are uncovered are areas that are, I guess I want to consider them where he would say that they are problematic. And so I exposed all this information, said all this stuff, and I did it via Facebook after told by my boss, Melody Edwards, and meeting the new reporter, Savannah Maher, about that if I had stories anymore, and that they tightened up the whole process of, if I wanted to put something out there, I had to write a pitch to the main boss, who is Bob Beck. I had to write a pitch to him, and I did write a pitch, and one of the pitches that I wrote was about the problematic issues of underage drinking here on the Wind River Reservation, and it was shot down. There was a proclamation put in place by the Eastern Shoshone Tribe to let people know that underage drinking was no longer going to be tolerated. And to me, that is big news, because that's something great that's happening here on the Wind River Reservation. And so that story pitch was totally turned down, which I didn't appreciate the fact that they didn't think that that was news, because to them, they wanted to focus on other things that are happening. For instance, they did the reenactment of Custer's Last Stand. And in the story that was put into place, when I read it, I got the way, and it was done by an outsider, the Savannah Maher, who was from Massachusetts, and the way that it was put into place, she made it look like the Native people here on the Winter Reservation tolerate violence, and that it is something that is instilled in all of us, where it kind of made us look barbaric, heathen, or whatever you want to call it. And that's not how I see my people. I would like to highlight the focuses of who the Wind River people are, and those are people who are loving, caring, accepting, as well as like other Native people. Other Native people, they have big, kind hearts. And so this person who created this company called Report for America, he created this, and I'm not sure if he still is in the position of working for the tactical, tactical procedures for communication. I want to say that's what it's called. Well, I kind of did some highlighting of him, and I did some research. His Wikipedia had stated a lot of information about him. So if you're interested in learning more about him, go ahead and Google him, look him up. His name is Steven Waldman, Steven Waldman. So that's kind of like where my information had come from. And I was not wanting to put a lot of that on Facebook. And so that is kind of one of the reasons why I chose to do this program about highlighting the addictions to Facebook, and how we can get outside of and there's so many things that I want to say, and I want to say a lot of those things upon Facebook. So I'm really having a tough time right now with fighting the urge to get on Facebook. So this is day 2, and it's kind of what's going through my mind. That's kind of what I'm going through. And so we'll see how things go. Talk to you later.